Hello, I'm Joyce.
Hi,
This is
I'm Joy. I'm Roy. I'm also called Joy.
and we are doing our follow-up video of our last video together about applying to RCA's graduate diploma. And thank you for your questions. We're actually going to go through some more questions that you've asked. And yeah, so I guess the first question, what are your thoughts on the graduate art and design diploma? So maybe Roy, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah, I think the first question and question can be talked together.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
Actually, I'm quite appreciate that I can have chance to go to the graduate diploma before I go to the MA courses in Royal College of Art. Because compared to the postgraduate course, the diploma course are more intensive and the contents of the course is richer. And you will learn a lot of knowledge from writing essays to typography of the portfolios. For me, I have benefit a lot. So even though you have a background of design, it's like because the MA course in RCA is more like self learning, so they won't teach you so many practical skills, and it's more like providing a platform to let you receive more inspirations and know more knowledge you didn't know before. So it's really good to take the diploma course before you go to MA. And another reason is I think compared to the rest of the art school, I think RCA have a kind of different education system or theory. So it's better to know it before you come to the MA school. Yes.
Mm, I definitely agree. For me, and maybe Roy, you could share more about your background as well, but I only took art classes until the end of high school. So college, my undergraduate degree, I didn't take any art classes. I still made art for fun on the side, but didn't have any formal training. And after I finished my degree in foreign affairs at the University of Virginia, I ended up studying at Sotheby's Institute of Art in London for about a semester long art business program. And we didn't do any, art and design, fine arts. And so um, and that is something I could talk about more too in another video. But um, then I started doing a master's program at Oxford in the history of design. And so all these different like art programs made me really want to do something that was more hands-on fine art. So I did the graduate diploma thinking maybe I would want to pursue, an MA afterward. Um, so yeah, it was just really great actually doing the grad dip because I hadn't had that formal training. And it was just so nice being able to actually create art and build a portfolio. Um, and afterward, I got accepted to the MRes, which is a master's of research. But because it was going to be online, I decided not to do it. But I really do think, having observed from other people's experiences in our program, that even if you have a design background already, it is still worth it to do, just because just think of it as sort of getting your foot in the door into RCA before actually doing an MA, because you get to meet with faculty and professors, tutors that have been part of RCA for years, and um, even if they are not individuals that you would be studying underneath, they know people that you would study underneath if you did certain master's programs. So yeah, I definitely encourage anyone interested in the grad dip to apply. And yeah, Roy, I don't know if you had anything else to add.
Yeah, I think um, I think it's a really good opportunity to learn something useful and very practical in a graduate diploma. Yeah, I'm really recommend.
Yeah. Okay. So now our next question, from your schoolmates back then, how many actually went to study masters afterwards? The RCA2, does it really help with the acceptance?
Uh,
Um,
mm,
yeah, maybe Roy, do you want to share?
yeah, I think the answer is yes, it do help. But compare with the acceptance rate of the rest of the art school in the graduate diploma course, it's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit not that as high as the rest of school. It's like for RCA's graduate diploma, it's like 50% of school of the students can go into the uh, MA. And in my experience, I remember I remember our classmates are 20 or 30. And is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, about 20 to 30. I think less than 30 students.
Yes, I
And
remember the,
only a handful got accepted. I think it was less than 50%, right?
uh, I remember it's almost 50% because some of my friends they received the witness the witness the
The
wait
wait list.
yeah the wait list, and
Hmm.
finally they still got into the MA.
Oh, okay.
Some of
Okay.
them is in the next year.
Mm,
Yes.
okay.
Mm.
So even if you don't get accepted the first year, I think it still does help if you want to reapply. And another thing too is some of the also depends. There's so many factors that go into your acceptance because you could be applying for a really competitive master's program. I applied to one of the smallest master's programs and I got accepted. So I think it depends. Like, not trying to downplay the MRes, but less people are more inclined to want to do research as opposed to being a practitioner. Um, so yeah, just consider the different factors.
Yeah, that's right. And I think the reason I said is do help to to go to the MA is that compared to the rest of the students, I think the school is definitely preferred to receive some students who are get their school training before. So that
Mhm.
do help.
Yeah. And the next question, RCA mentions students graduate from the diploma with distinction and directly get accepted to masters. Is it easy to graduate with distinction?
I think it's not that easy because I remember in our semester, it's like only 4 students got the distinction.
Mhm.
Mm.
And also, if you think about distinction, it means that you have like it's anything that is, prestigious or um I guess like accolades, like distinctions, they don't expect them to be easy because then they wouldn't be worth it. Like, so I think a better question is like, is it like how feasible is it to get distinction? It's definitely like possible, but it is very challenging to get distinction. But there's people like myself who did not get distinction and got accepted. So it doesn't mean if you don't get distinction that you won't be accepted,
Yes,
right?
exactly. And I think in the art, there's no such distinctions. I mean,
Mm.
everyone is the best for themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
don't be trapped. I mean, don't get too much pressures to this distinction. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. I'm glad you said that, Roy, because I think it's so easy to compare to other people and be like, oh, they have these awards, like I don't have these awards. But then it's like, no, you just do you. Like be yourself and don't compare yourself to other people.
exactly.
Yeah. Um, our next question was there any discounts, scholarships done? or were there any discount scholarships done, especially for international students? It seems the page on scholarships and financial aid is quite limited. And that is because scholarships and financial aid are quite limited at RCA.
That's true.
It's definitely expensive, but looking back though, I really think the graduate diploma is worth it, because if you don't want to do a master's, having the graduate diploma puts you in a really great position, I think, because even if you don't want to do a master's afterward, it could still help your resume. You can definitely meet a lot of people and network, and it. I think the diploma helps fine tune what you want to do, because you just get to explore so many different things and listen to talks and meet different artists and designers, that it helps maybe solidify like what you want to do as a artist or designer. um, I don't know, Roy, did you have any? I don't think there's many scholarships available, especially for international
I
students.
didn't hear any of that. but
Yeah.
but if you are in MA, actually I didn't hear any of the discount or scholarship until now, but I do know
Hmm.
some ways to earn money if you
Hmm.
really want to get.
Yeah.
Basically, there are so many different competitions in RCA. For
Mm-hmm.
example, the one named Varley Award is
Mm-hmm.
is raised by RCA every year. It's organized by RCA every year, and basically you can participate in, and but it's only for the first year MA student. But if you win the prize, that means you can get, I remember it's 10,000 or 1,000 pounds. And
Wow.
yes, you can get this money from school and to
Mm-hmm.
support your proposal, your project. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can earn money
Yeah,
this way.
that's awesome.
Mm.
And I guess we can segue to our next question. Is it easy to find work while studying? RCA claimed that most of the students do have some sort of do have some work on the side to help out. How much of it is actually true? I think from personal experience, it depends, because for me, I tutor online classes, and now, and Roy, you tutor too. And I think that has been very helpful. But also, I know that if you have the student visa, you should be able to work up to a certain number of hours in the UK if you wanted like a job in person. But the vigor of the graduate diploma is, I feel like it is intense. Like you have a lot of projects and a lot of things that happen, and sometimes like unexpected talks that you have to go to. And so it's feasible, but I would, if you are interested in doing the graduate diploma and then you get accepted, I would try to like work before you do it, and then maybe consider a part-time job that is flexible that you could do while having a full-time program. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I remember the first day we went to Y City campus, and the tutor lead us to get the like campus tour, and the tutor just told us there still have some ways to earn money. For example, you can work in the cafeteria in the school, but they do not recommend to do that because you're gonna be so busy.
Yeah, because you think about it, this program is only how many weeks?
It's supposed to be 9 months, but we are
Yeah.
special. We are done it.
Yeah, we're the special one. We ours was 7 months, right? Less than that.
I remember 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. Oh yeah, 6 months. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, hope that helps. Um, and we're gonna move on to the next slide. So yeah, working while studying at RCA. This is just a picture screenshot I took of teaching online art classes. I highly encourage tutoring online because I feel like it's a very nice way to um, develop skills and to just also see art from, I don't know, when we're younger, like we just draw for fun, right? But as we get older, sometimes it's like, oh, I need to, make a living, and you think about, finances and all of that. But yeah, there's something really joyful about being able to teach kids online, and highly recommend it if that is something that you would like to do. And there's different ways of doing it. Roy, maybe you can share about the company that you work for. Um,
Yeah, I'm working for the company that is an online art teaching company. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's said in Chinese. It's like 美术宝, and it's basically just teaching students by online, and they have a specific app for the teaching. So they also have like official PowerPoint with so many different topic. Like sometimes I will teach kids to how to paint a bird, and sometimes I will teach them how to paint a car in a kind of creative way. So it's a really fun opportunity, because for me it's like when I teaching students, at the same time they are also teaching me, because
yeah.
when you are grown up, and sometimes some quality will gradually lose by the, by the age, by the time. So when you're talking to the young people, I mean the kids,
Mm,
you will find out some quality you lose, and you can get them from those kids. It's a very
mm,
nice experience. So I recommend.
yeah, definitely. Thanks, Roy. Yeah, for me, I teach friends and family friends, and find students, I don't know, sometimes through word of mouth. I have a student now that her mom found me through LinkedIn. So, there's different ways to find students, and to work part time while studying at RCA. It definitely is challenging, though, I think, during the graduate diploma. So just keep that in mind. So after completing the graduate diploma, so did you go for your master's after the grad dip? So maybe Roy, you can share, since you are doing an MA now, and then afterward I can share about my experience.
Yes, I went to master after the graduate diploma. Mm, compared to compared to the process and the whole experience I had in grad diploma, to the experience I had in MA, is quite different. I have to say, um, in some level, you can learn more in the grad diploma, because the graduate diploma courses are so intensive, and you are having class with so many different pathway. It's like you are having class with fine art, like an illustrator, or so many different person. So you will learn a lot. And at the same times, the grad diploma tutor are also so harsh, so power to push us to get out of comfort zone, and they
Mm-hmm.
try to teach us how to get out of the comfort zone, and at the same time maintaining the self-reflection. It's basically like the fundamental learning method you need to have before you go to MA. Because when you are already in MA, the tutor won't push you anymore. They
Mm-hmm.
just like throw a lot of new knowledge to you, and then you just need to learn all of those and make a choice, but that's it. They won't push you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very self-motivated, so it's totally different experience. But hmm, I like both.
Okay. Yeah, they're different in their own way. But for me, I didn't want to do another RCA degree online because so our graduate diploma was pretty much almost the whole thing was online. And so the master's of research that I applied to was in the design pathway. And it was a 1 year master's program that it's I was really grateful that I got accepted, but I didn't want to do another online program, so decided not to accept it. But I am still doing my master's at Oxford, which I am working on the dissertation of right now. And so yes, I technically am still doing masters after the graduate diploma, but not through RCA. And yeah, so my next slide. Okay, we can just briefly touch on this, but I feel like what we've shared so far is um, what the bulk of this video will be on, but we could talk about this. Maybe why do you want to earn your graduate diploma at RCA? And then if we get requests to do another video, then we'll go more in depth about this. But yeah, so maybe Roy, could you share why you decided to pursue your graduate diploma?
uh, it's like a little bit personal because the reason I applied for the school in UK is a part of reason is I came to UK because my husband come to UK, so I just for company, and I don't want waste of my time while he was working, so I just plan to apply for the school. And then I just thought, oh, why I just apply for the best one and the normal one at the same time. So here we go.
Yeah.
Actually, before I came to UK, I planned it to apply for the school in America, which is
Mm,
our center. Yeah,
mhm,
yeah, it's
mm,
all different.
yeah. Well, thank you for sharing, Roy.
Mm.
I think for me too, and I mentioned this earlier, was just not having that formal training, but the desire to pursue a career in art and design, but I wasn't sure exactly how that would look. I think now, though, I'm definitely fine tuning, I guess, my practice, because that was like one of our, we had to write, like, define our practice in an artist statement. And at the time, this was like last year, I had so many different things, and the tutors were always getting on my case about how I was like, I was interested in just so many different things. They're like, you just need to pick one, you know? But yeah, I think I'm most interested in illustration, visual communication, which is what Roy, you're doing. Um, but I'm, rather than being like a practitioner, I would like to continue in academia, and focus on research along with having a practice. So yeah, really grateful for my experiences through RCA. I don't want to say at RCA because I never actually studied there, but it was just like online through RCA. So, well, thank you so much, Roy, for doing this video. And for those watching, thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. We'd be more than happy to share more. And without further ado, that concludes our video.
Yeah, bye.